Everyone, welcome to the April 19th agenda meeting, South Plainfield Mayor and Council. This meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and published on the borough's website. Ms. Antonides, will you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Here.
Councilwoman Mott? Here. Councilman Smith?
Here.
Councilman Bullock?
Here.
Council President White?
Here.
Thank you. Can you take us through a review of tonight's agenda, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This evening we have two matters on for executive session. Both are contractual. One pertains to Middlesex County JIF and the other pertains to the South Plainfield Board of Ed. We have the approval of council minutes for April 5th. We have three ordinances on for a second reading by title, three ordinances on for a first reading by title. There's 5 budget-related resolutions, 12 regular resolutions, 6 matters of correspondence, and payment of bills totaling $231,838.19. Council reports, and we conclude with public comment. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for executive session resolution 21-142?
Motion, Faustini?
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Faustini, seconded by Council President White. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
We will have executive session tonight. Council comments on agenda items?
Nothing.
Mayor, you know what, before the council comments, I was thinking, maybe it makes sense for me to just kind of walk everybody through what we have in the agenda here that's budget related.
Sure.
There are a few things on here maybe that are different from previous years. So maybe I figured the thing to do would be for us to walk through this first, and then obviously we can get the budget introduction later.
Okay.
But the budget information that Ms. Antonides mentioned really kind of starts with ordinance number 2201. That's the ordinance which establishes the index rate ordinance or cap. This is something that we do every year. It enables the borough, in case somewhere down the road in the next 2 years there's some type of emergency where we have 5 blizzards in one winter or something, that it enables us to increase above the normal cap. We'll probably won't utilize it. The budget that's introduced right now is currently $1 million, over $1 million below the index rate ordinance. It's something that we do every year. What will happen is after, when you get to the 3rd year, you start lapsing one of the years whose appropriations you don't utilize. So it's really just a memo entry for you accountants out there. So it's not something that is expense. It's just giving us the opportunity in case something totally unforeseen happens. So that's what your 2201 is. 21142 just allows the clerk to read this by title, not having to read every single dollar and cent in the municipal budget. 21142B, there's a schedule that the state uses for self-exam. We were under self-exam last year. We're not under self-exam this year. That's all that resolution is doing. 142C is acknowledgement that the borough complies with hiring practices, which we do. The one item which is new here that I wanted to explain to everybody is 21142D. And what that is that enables the borough to have a resolution saying, obviously last year the borough was affected by COVID just like everybody else. There's 3 items that are listed there, in particular hotel tax, court, and building fees. It enables the borough to budget a 3-year average versus being restricted by the prior year's cash receipts. To be honest, the introduced budget right now is more than $250,000 below the 3-year average. We have reason to believe, obviously there's some development which is taking place in Motorola, we have reason to believe that some of these items will be trending back favorably in 2021. It doesn't require us to budget to them, and as I said, the municipal budget is over $250,000 below what these numbers are, but it also additionally kind of shows exactly some of the things that have taken place over the last year. And obviously on introduction, The public hearing won't be until June, but I'll address that during the regular meeting.
Okay.
And with that, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt everybody's, council's comments. I was just saying, it made sense to me to walk through that.
That's fine. While we're on those budget resolutions, Ms. Antonides, obviously we've got to do at least 21-142A first, but do we want to group 21-142A through 142D as one vote and then have the authorization of the budget, or do you want to do each one individually?
Mr. Mayor, you can approve 142A through 142D
Okay.
all together, and then approve 142E separately if you wish.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if the council has any thoughts on that, but,
Sounds good.
okay. All right, any other council comments?
Nothing from me,
Nothing.
Mayor.
Okay,
Just want to mention one last thing.
Sure.
You know, obviously, I see 21-148 banner for the former Senator Barnes. Obviously, I think everybody misses him showing up in his suit and sneakers. I'm really, really happy. I've been here a long, I've been with the borough 19 years. I'm really thankful that mayor and council are doing that. I think it's a great job by all of you.
thank you. Yeah, well deserved for him. All right, no other council comments. We've already authorized executive session. At this point, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items only. Again, for you veterans out there, if you're on the WebEx, you can simply unmute yourself or use the raise hand icon. As soon as you're called on, you can state your name for the record and your address, and then followed by your comment or question. If you're on the voice only line, telephone only, *6 will unmute your line, and then you can do the same. Just announce your name. As you're called upon, proceed with your address and your question. If for some reason we don't acknowledge you on the WebEx, feel free to do the same as the voice-only participants, and we'll proceed from there. That'll be for all of the public comment sessions, including at the end of the meeting. So at this point, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items only. Okay, seeing none, close the public portion. At this point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's agenda meeting.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman White, second by Councilwoman Faustini. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Seeing no reason to delay, we'll go right to the public meeting. Again, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting also being provided to the borough's 2 official newspapers and published on the borough's website. Ms. Antonides, will you call the roll once more?
Councilman Benjabanga?
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Here.
Councilwoman Mott? Here. Councilman Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Bullock?
Present.
Council President White?
Here.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by Councilwoman Faustini. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, we invite you to watch over our community and to keep our loved ones, residents, and employees safe. And during our meeting this evening, help us to share ideas for a favorable outcome. Amen.
Okay. At this point, once again, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items only. I don't think that was for us. Stephanie?
Hi, sorry, 1 second. Hi, I wanted to talk about the bamboo ordinance in town.
Sure.
Okay, my name is Stephanie Spano. I live at 2055 Audubon Avenue.
Okay.
So, I live next to a vacant, overgrown lot on Audubon Avenue, and I've been here for 5 years. The lot has out of control bamboo that's invading my property. The land is poorly maintained. I've had a landscaper advise me that it's growing underground towards my foundation, and my house was built in 1901. I had a new fence put up, and the fence company said that the new fence is in danger of damage. I made several attempts to work with this property owner, which have been unsuccessful. We also had our streets paved recently in the past couple of years, and the bamboo is actually growing through the pavement and destroying our road. So this ordinance would really help us from suffering property damage and road damage to our streets.
Okay, just a comment?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else? All right, Stephanie, I'm going to lower your hand. Anyone else? Again, seeing none, I'm going to close the public portion. Okay. Can I get a motion for the approval of council minutes April 5th, 2021, agenda, public, and executive?
So moved, Smith.
Second, Mott.
Motion by Councilman Smith, seconded by Councilwoman Mott. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White?
I abstain. I was not at the last meeting.
Okay, that passes 5-0.
Thank you. For final adoption, ordinance 2198.
An ordinance amending Chapter 187 of the Code of the Borough of South Plainfield titled Vehicles and Traffic.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final approval on ordinance 2198?
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilwoman Faustini. As this is for final adoption, we'll open it up for public comments regarding only the final adoption of ordinance 2198. Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Council comments?
Nothing from me.
Seeing
Nothing.
none, Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for final adoption, ordinance 2199.
An ordinance amending ordinance 2143 that amends Chapter 510, Section 510-3, titled Fees of the Code of the Borough of South Plainfield, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption on ordinance 2199?
So moved.
Motion.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilwoman Mott. Again, as this is for final adoption, we'll open it up for public comments regarding only the final adoption of ordinance 2199. Seeing none, close the public portion. Council comments?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Seeing none, Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. And also for final adoption, ordinance 2200.
An ordinance of the Borough of South Plainfield, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, adopting regulations for the planting, growing, and/or containment of bamboo.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for the final adoption of ordinance 2200?
Motion?
So moved, Smith.
Second?
Second, Benjavanga.
Motion by Councilman Smith, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Again, as this is for final adoption, I'll open it up for public comments regarding only the final adoption of ordinance 2200. Okay, I don't see any, so if there's any out there, feel free to just talk. At this point, I'll ask for council comments regarding the final adoption of ordinance 2200.
I just want to say, I'm still going to vote no. I really feel for Stephanie that was just up there. I understand something should be done, and it's terrible what's happening to her property. I'm only voting no because I'm concerned about the severity of the ordinance. I think it's very overbearing, and that's the only reason I'm voting no. I totally understand why you want this done for your sake, for what's happening to your property. But just mind that. That's the reason why I'm doing it.
Okay, any other council comments?
None from me, Mayor.
None?
Okay, at this point, Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
No.
And Council President White?
Yes.
And that passes 5-1.
Thank you. For introduction, ordinance 2201.
An ordinance to exceed the municipal budget cost of living allowance and to establish a cap bank pursuant to NJSA 48:4-45.14.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2201?
So moved, Benjavanga. Second, Smith.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman Smith. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Also for introduction, ordinance 2202.
Bond ordinance amending the description in section 3A of bond ordinance number 2192 of the Borough of South Plainfield in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, finally adopted February 16, 2021, in order to include improvements to New Market Avenue.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2202?
So moved.
So, Benjavanga.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. And also for introduction, ordinance 2203.
An ordinance amending ordinance 2172 that provides for the compensation of employees of the Borough of South Plainfield and the method of payment of such compensation for the year 2021 for part-time seasonal community pool help.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2203?
Motion?
Motion by Councilwoman Faustini,
Second.
Second, Mott?
second by Councilwoman Mott. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. The next four resolutions are budget resolutions. I will just read them here. We'll motion and vote on them as one. 21-142A, again, is authorizing the municipal clerk to read the proposed 2021 municipal budget by title. And Resolution 21-142B, authorizing and conducting a self-examination of the 2021 municipal budget by the Chief Financial Officer. Resolution 21-142C, certifying that the governing body of the Borough of South Plainfield has complied with the hiring practices under NJSA 40A:40-5, and then 21-142D, anticipating miscellaneous revenues in the 2021 budget using the 3-year average of realized revenues from the prior 3 years. So can I get a motion for resolutions 21-142A through D?
So moved.
So moved.
Motion Wallach.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Wolock. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. And then finally, can I get a motion for Resolution 21-142E?
So moved. Benjavanga.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilwoman, Councilman Wolock. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White?
Yes.
Okay,
Passes 6-0.
thank you, Amy. At this point, we'll turn it over to Mr. Cullen. You're on mute,
He's on
Glenn.
mute.
I can take you off.
Let me, I forgot to unmute myself now. Anyway, right now we're at the introduction. A lot of municipalities actually haven't even introduced. A lot of them are waiting for, South Plainfield, like every other municipality in the state, has not received any guidance from the state in regards to the use of American Rescue Plan funds. So none of those funds are in the 2021 introduced budget. Obviously, there's been a number of news articles in regards to how much the state is receiving. The budget, the borough is scheduled to receive $2.1 million, spread out over 2 years. So we pushed back our public hearing, which will take place on June 7th, and we're hoping by then there's a number of things that become a little more known as we're coming out of the pandemic. The introduced budget here is $32,519,000. Of that, introduced, everybody wants to know what are our taxes. Municipal and library taxes combined are $22,802,000, which is roughly $89 per household, around 89 and a quarter. Since 2019, and I'm using that as the example because 2019 was the last real year. Our court revenues are down $334,000 from what was received. Our building unit fees are down almost $150,000. Hotel tax is down $63,000. And really where we're getting hit very hard is our sewer is down almost $2/3 of $1 million. It's down over $600,000, and that really has a lot to do with a lot of industry in town not operating at the level that it was going back 2 years ago. I would like to say that we haven't just said our revenues are down. What has the borough done on its side? Last year alone, we had a reduction in salary and wages of close to $400,000 from the previous year, which was a combination of layoffs, reduction of staff, altering schedules in order to get a handle on any type of overtime. So we've made a lot of proactive moves. On the flip side, in 2021, there's some things that we don't have a lot of control over. Our police pension, which is an invoice from the state, is up almost $300,000. Obviously, snow this year was a lot different from a year ago. We had a huge blizzard. That's up over $200,000. The police salary wage are up $400,000. So, we have a lot of moving little parts here. We've made a lot of proactive moves, which is why, like last year, we didn't see our surplus shrink. It actually increased modestly, but we're going into a second consecutive year of significant revenue losses. And so, obviously, nobody wants to see us at $89 per home. We think it's going to obviously be much less. We also think there are other revenue items that may be coming in, but as of right now, it's still kind of early here. So that's why normally you have your public hearing within a month. We've obviously pushed it off more like a month and a half. And by then, I'm hoping we'll be able to report to the council on some guidance in the American Rescue Plan funds combined with some other revenue items that we think we should be building on on the horizon for the borough itself. So we'll have a regular public hearing. This is just the introduction, but it's just kind of wanted to let everybody know where we are. And does anyone have any questions? Our rateable base, thank God, is up. It's up for the 6th year in a row. It's up almost $9 million.
Excellent. I don't know, any council comments?
Yes, Mayor, Rob. I just wanted to reiterate what Glenn was saying, that, statutorily we have to introduce this budget at this time, and then we set the public hearing, and a lot of unknowns are going on throughout the state with the federal money and stuff like that, but we've been able to really get a hold of our expenses over the past year and a half, and that's a great deal of what Glenn has been able to do with the department heads and stuff like that. So we're in a great position for the borough, as you can see with our S&P ratings and stuff like that. So we put ourselves, and Glenn has led the charge of putting ourselves in a situation where we can weather through this pandemic, but at the same time be able to be patient enough to see what will be coming in from those other sources of revenue. So I look forward over the next month and a half working with everybody on council and as well as administration on figuring out how we can get to a reasonable adopted budget.
Thank you. Before we take any other council comments, let me just, that reminds me, so as Councilman Benjavang alluded to, the public hearing for the budget will be on June 7th. And then also the three ordinances that we introduced at this meeting, ordinances 2201, 2, and 3, those will have public hearings on May 3rd, 2021. So again, the three ordinances for the next meeting for final adoption. The budget for June 7th will be the public hearing. Any other council comments?
No.
Anyone out there? Ms. Antonides, did you need to do anything as far, or is that only on June 7th that you'll need to read the budget by title?
That will be on June 7th, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, I should know this by now, right? But I did kind of know, I got it right. I would just like to, I think Councilman Benjavang is right on, and as was mentioned by our Chief Financial Officer, if you look at the budget, and obviously everybody will have a chance to look at it in greater detail, the areas that were down are the areas where municipalities across New Jersey are down, and you would kind of expect that, and it was alluded to some commercial activity. We are blessed to have a lot of commercial activity, but when you're in a pandemic and a lot of things aren't quite operating at full capacity, that is one of the things. And then I think also municipal courts around the state are also operating very similar to ours at a severely reduced capacity. So hotel taxes, and there's a whole number of things that if you go through the budget here, you're going to see that the revenue side, at least anyway, is probably pretty common across New Jersey. The expense management side is what we really can get our hands around and try our best to manage. And I think we've done a good job of that so far, and we'll continue to work on that. So again, June 7th, public hearing for the budget, and May 3rd for the three ordinances adopted or introduced tonight. Any other council comments before we move on? Okay. Can I get a motion for resolutions 21-143 to 21-154?
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilwoman Faustini. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. We have several items for correspondence tonight, and note for the note sale bid results, the Board of Health monthly report for March, the Environmental Commission minutes for February, Business Advisory meeting minutes for February 3rd, Health Advisory Board minutes for September, and the Recycling monthly report for March. Can I get a motion for the correspondence?
Motion, Wallace?
Motion by Councilman Wolock,
Second.
second by Council President White. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White.
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Can I also get a motion for payment of the bills of $231,838.19?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilwoman Faustini. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White.
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzo, anything for us tonight?
There he is.
Paul?
Mhm.
Anything for us tonight?
Yeah, delay.
Oh, did he say no?
I
Progress?
think he said
I think-
progress.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Cullen?
Right.
What was that?
Glenn?
I'm sorry.
Progress.
Progress. Mr. Miller?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I'll give you an update on the capital projects we have going on. They are working on the park projects at the 3 parks. They'll be back out there again this week. We have a meeting tomorrow morning with the contractor for the pool and the Powell parking lot project to go over some work, and he'll be starting after that. We have a pre-construction meeting tomorrow for the last project we awarded, which is the paving of Camden and Elizabeth and completing Clark. You may have seen the gas company is going to be out on well, they actually started today on Camden and Elizabeth. They're going to replace that gas main before we come in and pave that. So luckily, the gas company was able to find out that they could get that in before our paving project. And lastly, we're working on the plans for Durham Avenue. We're reviewing them now, and they're going to be submitted back into DOT to get that project moving along shortly, and that should be constructed over the summer. With that progress.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Antonides?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just a quick reminder that on Saturday, May 1st, at the DPW, we will be having our rabies clinic from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. All are welcome to attend. Please wear masks, social distance, all that good stuff. We will have staff there also to license the dogs and cats as well. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Wolock?
Yes, I'd like to thank everybody for all the help this week in cleaning up the town. It really does look good. I got there early this morning with the team, and it was amazing, everybody out there volunteering, and everything really does look nice. And I appreciate that. Well, appreciate that. I'm glad I want to thank you for your thorough explanation of the plans that's going on. It's kind of hard to think about, people say, oh, we're not giving out tickets, we're not having as much court cases, and that's kind of, in some people's mind, it might be good, but we're losing some money that way. But thanks for the thorough explanation. It was great. Make that progress.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Smith?
I as well would like to thank the Environmental Committee for what they've done to put together the Clean Communities Week. Dr. Temple and all the people, Dorothy Neely, and all the members of the commission got together. They worked hard. Thank the mayor and council for their efforts to work towards that. I'd also like to send a shout out to the Knights of Columbus. They did a phenomenal job on Coolidge Avenue, and it seems we have a slight issue there where there's been a lot of illegal dumping, and they sent us a picture of a lot of produce boxes that were dumped there. I would like for us to be able to look into some type of environment where we could
do something to prevent illegal dumping in that area and all areas of the town that we might have to go through. I also like to thank Mr. Cullen for his hard, dedicated work, along with Councilman Benzavenga, who's part of that. Our borough attorney, Mr. Rizzo, thank you so much for all the support you've given me over the time when I call and ask the questions, and more importantly, to all the communities that we've been able to reach. Residents of our community, I apologize, to reach. And Stephanie, since you're still on here, if you would reach out to me about the issues that you have with them, and we could talk about that as well. And with that, progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. You mentioned the cleanup, and I know we were all out there, and I don't know if it was to the council president, I turned and said, you know, the thing that gets me is that we're out here every year and you have to do that. I don't know. For me, I just don't understand the mentality of, and we're always cleaning up by 287, so, you know, you're at a traffic light, some of that, you know, garbage is probably coming from, you know, 287, but still the concept of just, you know, throwing something out your car window, I mean, I'm making an assumption that the majority of that occurs that way, but I don't know.
Sad commentary on
Yeah, it's
people's
just,
lack of respect for what's
yeah, we're-
going
Mr.
on.
Mayor, if
Yeah.
I may, I forgot one thing,
Sure.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
This coming weekend, the 24th, the Environmental Commissioning is going to have tree seedlings that they will be handing out to any resident that wants to go there and get them. They will be at the high school parking lot, so anybody wants to go over and get a seedling to plant a tree, they can go there and pick one up.
See, and that makes perfect sense. The littering just doesn't, so thanks for clearing all that up for me.
What time is that, Councilman?
Mayor,
9 a.m.
Mayor, if you don't mind me interrupting,
Yeah.
I will say this. Councilman Smith, I'm a member of the Knights as well. I heard today about, you know, what had happened over the weekend, and I was out there with Mr. Miller, and we see the exact area that they're talking about in regards to people kind of go in that dirt area and they do a little horseshoe, where I guess they're dumping things. We're trying to see some type of barrier that we can put up to prevent this in the future.
That would be greatly appreciated. I did speak to Mr. Miller about this as well, and I just wanted to make sure that we have it on the record with mayor and council, that we could sit down and try to work out something. And I'm sure that's not the only area, but the Knights of Columbus did a phenomenal job. Mr. Berry and his crew that was there, it was just amazing when I got to speak to him at Borough Hall on Saturday.
Excellent.
Tom is a runner, so
in
I'm sure he'll be able to collect a lot of trash.
I just want to let you guys know also, in addition to that, I did reach out to Chief, who will be doing some extra patrolling in that area. Obviously, we can't patrol it 24/7, but anything to help. So Chief has also been informed.
Awesome.
Thank you. Councilwoman Mott, while we're on you, go ahead.
Yes, so first I would like to congratulate 4 of our DPW workers, James Farrell, Ryan Harris, Dylan O'Connor, and Nick Palazzano for obtaining their CDLs. Congratulations to them and keep up the good work. And thank you, as always, Mr. Miller. I know you've been so busy as it is, and then coming into busy season on top of it, you've been great, so thank you for that. And with that, progress.
Thank you. Councilman Benjavanga.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to just get back to what Glenn had mentioned about former Senator Barnes. I knew Pete Barnes, who unfortunately, obviously passed away, but I knew Pete Barnes since I got on council back in 2005, and he was councilman in Edison. I knew his father was a great man as an assemblyman and senator, or assemblyman, I should say, but as his career grew and I got to know him, he really tried his best to get that Dismal Swamp Commission going. He was excellent in getting it going and getting it established. I'm proud to be part of that commission. I know Councilman Smith was part of that commission at one time. We're really doing some great things there on the commission, and they brought that to yourself, Mayor, and me to ask the council in all the towns that are in the Dismal Swamp to rename that after Mr. Barnes. And I'll just say something about Pete Barnes real quick. And he was the type of guy that, you know, we were on different political parties, and he did not care. He reached out to me anytime there was an issue. He always asked me if there was anything that he could do for me. We chatted a lot, even after he became judge. We shot text messages back and forth. So, you know, I really, really appreciate him as a public servant and as a judge. He's a special human being, and he will be missed by a lot of people, especially myself. So I thank the mayor and council for putting this on and proving this. It's well deserved and an honor.
Yeah, you said it very well, Councilman, and I'm sure some of the other council members here, you in particular, and I know Mr. Cullen. Anytime, whether there was a snowstorm, natural disaster, hurricane, whatever it was, you knew Senator Barnes was going to call you, Assemblyman Barnes, and you could count on that, and he truly did offer to help in any way he could. So. It truly is an honor, and I hope that's seen through, and couldn't be more deserving. So, thank you, Councilwoman Faustini.
Just echoing again, thank you everyone for all your hard work, the Environmental Committee, Commission, all the litter cleanup volunteers. There were lots of orange bags everywhere around South Plainfield. So just thank you everyone for coming out and helping keep our town clean. I also want to thank Mr. Cullen and the Administration and Finance Committee for all their hard work thus far on the budget. These are, very different times, and this is yet again another challenge that all communities are facing. So thank you for your hard work and your continued hard work. And I just want to remind everyone that April 30th will end the early bird registration discount for the South Plainfield Community Pool. You can register on Community Pass. You can register in person days, 8:30 to 4:30 at the PAL. We are doing extended hours tomorrow evening until 8 p.m. and also Thursday, April 29th until 8 p.m. If you'd like to go in person and you can't make it during business hours, we're extending hours for you to go in and sign up, and I hope you do. There's a lot there, a little something for everyone. And with that, progress.
Thank you. Council President White.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just two quick items, talking about Senator Barnes, and I'm glad that we were able to pass that resolution. I remember once he was named judge, I'd spoken to him about speaking at the middle school, and he rearranged his schedule so that he could speak to all of Mr. Blondo's civics classes before he was named judge and got into his new role. And he made it a point to come down, spoke to them, and we chatted afterward, and he stayed as long as was necessary. So definitely a very good man and really a true civil servant. So I'm glad that we were able to do that. And then secondly, I wanted to announce the opening of Havana Bay, new authentic Cuban food restaurant. It's located at Hadley Center, 4921 Hadley Center. And we're having a ribbon cutting on Thursday at 5 o'clock. And then their official day, they're open now for a soft opening, so you can stop by now, but their official opening is going to be Friday. So, and they're open from 11:30 to 10 p.m. on Friday and throughout the weekend. So with that progress, looking forward to it. And it's located, for those of you who are familiar with Hadley Center, where Villa Pizza is, and the little alcove there, the little cutout. So it's located in there right next to Nanking. They converted one of their party ballrooms or something to a beautiful, beautiful restaurant. He has a chef coming in. They brought in from Cuba, and the decor is just unbelievable. So look forward to checking it out. With that progress, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. So we're not out of the COVID woods yet. So our 3-day average is right around 7. We earlier today posted our results for today, which were 3. On Sunday, we're 4. As I've said probably a number of times throughout these council meetings, I don't put much faith in the Sunday, Monday numbers. I think there's a little bit of seasonality, whatever you want to call it. There's a weekend factor that kind of goes into that, but we're still hopefully trending in the right direction. I think we are. Cumulative cases for South Plainfield to date are 2,815. Throughout Middlesex County, 86,125. New Jersey vaccines. So hopefully today, first day, anybody 16 or older is now eligible. So unless you had COVID within the last 90 days, or you're under 15, hopefully we'll see you using the state registration site. So each day, as we post the updated numbers on Facebook, is a link to the New Jersey COVID vaccination site. We do encourage all of our residents, anybody 16 and under, or 16 and over rather, to register on that site, and they'll notify you instantly that you are eligible, since everybody's now eligible. Obviously, there's a lot of vaccination news going on with with the unfortunate incidents that they had, over the last week. But again, that's one vaccine, and there's, I think the CDC or the NIH is still looking at that, and they do expect to resume those shortly if they haven't already. So what I would say is I wouldn't let that stop anybody from seeking the vaccinations. Again, whether you've had the vaccination or not, we do encourage you to follow the state's guidelines, and again, adhere to the social distancing guidelines, 6 feet. Try not to touch your hands. I try not to touch your eyes, nose, and mouth, and wear a mask.
Very good.
That covers it.
Yeah, I have one more thing, actually.
Sure, go ahead.
If I may, I just wanted to, congratulate and wish all of our athletes in South Plainfield that just had their opening day for the South Plainfield Junior Baseball Club, and also South Plainfield Ponytail Softball League. They just started their seasons, and I just want to wish all the athletes, good luck this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a reminder of a little sense of normalcy as we hopefully get back into where we should be. So with that, we will open it up for public comments. Anything on your mind? Again, if you're on the WebEx, you can use the raise your hand functionality there. Hopefully I see that. If I don't, take yourself off mute and state your name. If you're on the conference call only line, *6 should unmute yourself. Once you do that, you can state your name once you're recognized. Proceed with your address and your question. Debbie's using the old-fashioned raise your hand, so we'll honor that too. Ms. Boyle.
Thank you. Debbie Boyle, Bessie. I just want to say thoughts and prayers to the Peter Barnes family. He was always so involved. He was always a gentleman, and he will truly be missed. Also, the South Plainfield Business Association will be doing their overpass cleanup, which is the next 2 weeks. That's located by Church Street near Dunkin' Donuts. And tomorrow, the South Plainfield High School PTOO will have a fundraiser at Mr. Stubbs from 4 to 8. On Thursday, August 22nd, the South Plainfield High School baseball team will also have their fundraiser at Mr. Stubbs from 4 to 8. You can have curbside pick it up, or you can go in, or you can order it by phone. So please help support our students. Also, there'll be a PTOO clothing drive on May 1st and June 5th. That'll be up at the high school. That's who will use clothing and accessories. And the ELK has hosted 2 vendor day / flea markets. And our third will be May 15th. So if anybody's interested, please reach out to me. We have spaces that are available, and we have soup connect, so please join us. It's set up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we go from 9 to 3 in the Elks parking lot. Again, you have to wear a mask, and you have to bring your own table. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to draw a hard line. No after summer updates until at least after Memorial Day, right? Just kidding. Anyone else?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Brother Saramba.
Yep, if you could just state your address.
The Cultural Arts Commission. Hello?
Rosa, you have to just state your address,
Just
please.
state your address for the clerk.
248 Craig Ave, South Plainfield. Just a quick note, for the, on behalf of the South Plainfield Cultural Arts Commission, we're having our second photography, class, on April 28th at 7 o'clock. It's going to be through Zoom, so it's on Eventbrite, people can register. The link is up on our Facebook and Instagram. It's something fun that we have been having a lot of people really happy. We had the first one last month. Our second one is next week, and we'll be having our third one in May.
Excellent. Anything else? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I'm not seeing any. At this point, I'm going to close the public portion. As it was mentioned earlier, we have 2 items for executive session. Don't believe that we expect there to be any activity to come from tonight's meeting, but I guess legally we leave that open. We are going to go into a separate session. You are more than welcome to hang out in virtual land until we return. If not, we won't be offended. We will be back as soon as possible. Hold right there, council and